audio adventures of Lunaravile AD&D history and lore. The southern seas of Toril churned, caught in the gravitational tug between the sprawling reaches of Katashaka and the golden sands of Zakara. In this oceanic cradle lay Lunaravile, a sliver of land carved from sapphire stone and silver silt. The narrator observes the dawn of this empire, not through dusty scrolls, but through the shimmer of a goddess. Selûne descended upon the virgin cliffs, her form flickering like a dying candle. One moment she wore the soft features of a human maiden, the next the elegant ears of an elf. Finally, she settled into the curved horns and crimson skin of a tiefling, mirroring the diversity of the souls she intended to gather. Standing upon the salt-sprayed precipice were three figures. Lord Nivellun Lunar, a drow of imposing girth, gripped a staff topped with a glowing crescent moon. His blue and silver robes billowed, the heavy fabric straining against his broad chest. Beside him stood Lord Camazar, a green-skinned tiefling whose eyes mirrored the emeralds of the deep woods. He held a staff carved into a coiled cobra, its eyes pulsing with a faint, rhythmic light. Lady Jasmira, a wood elf with a thick brown ponytail braided tight against her scalp, scanned the horizon with piercing blue eyes. Selûne's voice carried the resonance of 1,000 tides. This soil is a blank page. Will you write the history of a sanctuary or a fortress? Nivellun stepped forward, his boots crunching on the raw marble. A sanctuary that can defend itself, Great Moon. The world outside these waters forgets the value of peace. And the people? Selûne asked. Who shall dwell in the shadow of your spires? Camazar tightened his grip on the cobra staff. The cast-offs. The drow who tire of the spider's web. The tieflings hunted for their blood. The elves who find the forest too small. We build for the displaced. Jasmira pointed toward the northern horizon, where the land dipped into fertile valleys and rose into jagged peaks. The land provides. I see the gold of wheat in the north, the deep greens of the woodlands to the northeast, and the iron heart of the mountains in the northwest. We do not just build a city, we build a machine of survival. Selûne smiled, and the sky erupted in a shower of lunar dust. Then let the earth obey. Carve the city from the cliffs. Let the marble be as silver as my gaze, and as blue as the midnight sea. The narrator traces the passage of centuries. The city of Lunaravile rose like a crystalline dream. High towers in the Arabian style pierced the clouds, their domes plated in silver. Street lights, massive mystical blue crystals, hummed with a constant low-frequency vibration, bathing the marble walkways in an ethereal glow. The empire flourished. The lumber mills of the northeast sang with the rhythm of saws, and the northwest mines bled ore to feed the forge. But time erodes even the strongest marble. The narrator shifts the lens to the present, inside the High Lunar Council chamber. The air smelled of ozone and old parchment. Nivellun, now older but still possessing his formidable frame, slammed his crescent staff against the floor. The sound echoed through the vaulted ceiling. The reports from the northeast are grim. The lumber mills are ghosts of ash. Jasmira paced the length of the room, her braided ponytail whipping behind her. The drow raiders didn't just burn the mills, Uncle. They took the workers. They leave no survivors, only scorched earth and the smell of sulfur. Camazar leaned over a map of the continent, his green skin looking sallow under the blue crystal light. It is a coordinated strike. The raiders are the distraction. My scouts found traces of arcane residue near the northwest mines. Not drow magic, something more clinical, more precise. Nivelun narrowed his eyes. The Red Wizards of Thay. Precisely, Kamazar replied. They want the blue crystals. They don't care for the empire. They care for the power source. They are bribing the ex-imperial soldiers, men who felt cheated by the current pensions, to lead them through the mountain passes. Jasmira stopped her pacing and leaned over the table, her blue eyes flashing. Outlaws are clogging the roads between the farmlands and the city. The grain shipments are being hijacked. If we cannot feed the city, the walls won't matter. The people will open the gates themselves, just for a loaf of bread. Nivelun sighed, the sound heavy as a landslide. We are being squeezed. Raiders from the east, wizards from the west, and traders within our own borders. We cannot fight on three fronts, Kamazar argued. We must prioritize. If we lose the mines, we lose the ability to arm our guard. And if we lose the farmlands, we starve while we polish our swords, Jasmira countered. The door to the chamber creaked open. A shimmering light spilled inside, smelling of night-blooming jasmine and cold wind. Selûne entered, currently wearing the form of a tall, luminous elf. Her presence silenced the room. You speak of loss as if the foundation has crumbled, Selûne said. Nivelun bowed his head. Divine Mother, the empire you helped us forge is bleeding. The Red Wizards bring a hunger we cannot sate with diplomacy. Selûne walked to the window, looking out over the silver spires and the blue-lit streets of the cliffside city. The moon waxes and wanes, Nivelun. Lunaravile is in its waning phase. This is not a tragedy, it is a cycle. A cycle that ends in a massacre if we do not act, Kamazar snapped. Selûne turned, her eyes swirling galaxies. The Red Wizards seek the crystals because they fear the dark. The Drow Raiders seek the city because they envy the light. You have spent too long admiring the silver of your walls, and too little time sharpening the steel of your resolve. Jasmira looked at her companions. She is right. We have become administrators of a museum. We forgot how to be conquerors of our own fate. Nivelun straightened his blue and silver robes, his expression hardening. He gripped the crescent staff until his knuckles turned white. Kamazar, take the Cobra staff and the vanguard. Sweep the northwest mines. If the ex-imperial soldiers want a war, give them a lesson in loyalty. Kamazar grinned, a sharp, predatory expression. I shall enjoy reminding them why they feared the Lunar Guard. Jasmira, Nivelun continued, ride to the northeast. Use the woodlands to your advantage. The Drow may know the dark, but you know the breath of the trees. Hunt them. Jasmira nodded, her hand already drifting to the hilt of her blade. I will leave nothing but splinters for them to find. And you, uncle? Jasmira asked. Nivelun looked up at Selûne, then back to the map of his empire. I stay here. I will turn this city into a lure. Let the Red Wizards think the heart of Lunaravile is soft. Let them enter the silver gates. Selûne's voice drifted through the room like a lullaby. The moon does not fight the night. It defines it. The narrator watches as the three leaders depart, their blue and silver robes disappearing into the luminescent haze of the city. The crystals hummed louder, the blue light pulsing like a heartbeat. The empire of Lunaravile stood on the edge of a cliff, not just geographically, but historically. Whether it would fall into the crashing waves below or rise to a new zenith depended on the steel in their hearts and the light of the moon above.